Hello Aries, welcome. This is Taurus Tarot, and I'm Joy, your tour guide. Just kind of using tarot as, a guide to help tap in and interpret the messages that are coming through. And so we're looking at the energy for December 1st to the 15th for Aries. December 1st to the 15th for Aries. Okay. Energy for Aries, December 1st to the 15th. December 1st to the 15th. So some things that I kind of was picking up on is this kind of being a time of expansion for you. This is a time of some new interesting feelings kind of stirring within you. Some feelings of health and healing and passion and of becoming a little bit more aware to the energies of life force energy, yeah, the energy of the universe, tapping into or becoming more aware of the energy of the universe, that life force energy that connects us all. So maybe that means kind of tapping into your intuition a little bit more. And I get the feeling that this is new for you. This is not really something that has been long-standing for you. This is something that kind of, I'm feeling like a sudden awareness of it, almost like maybe, for some people, it's this like this subtleness that is kind of in the background that they're sort of aware of on a subconscious level, maybe, of, kind of like it's there, but you don't quite know what it is, and just kind of takes somebody to name it for you, to kind of realize it's there, or realize that it's always been there, and to start tapping into it. So there's that part, but for you, I'm really feeling like it's more of a sudden kind of thing. It's almost like that subtle awareness didn't exist, and then bam, suddenly you're experiencing these new feelings, these new energies that you just were not aware of before. And it's like almost like discovering intuition for the first time, and almost like never having even heard of intuition, and then suddenly being aware of it. It kind of feels like that. But it is an awareness that is expanding in you. That's what I'm feeling. It's an awareness that is definitely expanding in you. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what the cards say. Yeah, so, we have the Fool. What a perfect start. What a perfect card to start off with. This is an energy of, this is like 0-point energy. This is like actually really, this is the life force energy here that we're talking about. This is the energy of the universe, the life force energy of the universe. That's what this is. At the point before human conditioning, at the point before, your parents put this pressure on you to be a certain way or do a certain thing. This is the energy at the point before teachers tell you that, you're smart or you're not smart, or, people from the outside or anything from the outside gives you messages about who you are. This is 0-point energy. This is energy of your soul in its purest form. Yeah. And so at this point, at this energy, in this space, it's like anything is possible. You can move anywhere. It's like infinite possibilities are abound, and you have not stepped into any of them yet. Yeah, it's just they're there. They're there. They're ready for you to decide which of those possibilities you want to embody. Yeah. And we have the Seven of Swords here next to that. And that kind of feels to me like, I just heard some healing to do. I feel like there's this little heart sort of here. Yeah. And I feel like all of these swords are kind of piercing that heart. Yeah. And then this sword here is almost like your strength, and it's a bigger sword, right? And it's strong, and it's holding your heart, and it's protecting your heart. But at the same time, you have all these other swords piercing it. And so that's kind of telling me that there's a bunch of things that that you still need to heal. Yeah. And you know, and process, and kind of like, you know, pull those swords out one by one. You know, like I just heard, like, this one's your mom, you know, this one's your dad, this one's those teachers that you had in school that always told you you were, you know, rascal, or kolohe, as we say here, you know, like hard-headed. Yeah. And so it's kind of like, you need to go through this process of removing those swords one by one, you know, kind of like understanding, like, you know, this is everything that, you know, my mom had told me that I was, or that I wasn't. And I don't need to believe that anymore. Yeah, I don't need to believe that anymore, because I'm strong here, and I know the truth, and I know who I am in my soul. And that's what I'm going to let guide me. I'm not going to let what other people have put on me or told me about myself to be the guiding force in my life. No. And I'm going to pull those swords out one by one. I'm going to release those ideas one by one until it's just left with my heart and my strength protecting my heart. And then it's a matter of allowing your ships to come in, allowing this this party I just heard, you know, this celebration of you to emerge and take the forefront. Yeah, just really this really getting a feeling of like celebration from this card, you know. And Three of Wands is in the Rider-Waite deck. You know, he's standing there and he's looking out to sea, and he's waiting for his ships to come in. His ships are coming in, and they're bringing in goods from, you know, you know, bringing in treasures from around the world. Yeah. And this card here it has that same energy of you know, like the treasure of you arriving. Yeah. And it's a celebration. It's a celebration because the wholeness, the fullness, the treasure, the goodness, the wholesomeness of you is arriving. It's arriving because you've gone through this process of removing all of those things that are not you. Yeah. And allowing that energy, that fullness of you to, you know, step forth. And it's because you've released this wall, these burdens. You're just letting them go. You're letting go of the burdens. Yeah, actually, so this is feeling like, you know, letting go of conditioning, of things you thought you were, based on what other people have said about you, based on you've been looking at yourself and trying to define yourself through the eyes of others, how you think others view you. Yeah, that's what you've been doing, but you're letting that go. You're releasing that. And you're also releasing these things that you've held on to, these burdens that you've held on to. And I just kind of got the feeling of, it's not necessarily like actually like letting go of a certain thing, because I was having this idea of, or this vision of like, not paying a bill. Not paying a bill because you're not going to worry about it anymore. But no, because that's not really helpful, right? This releasing of a burden is the burden that you placed on it in your mind. Yeah. So it's like this feeling of you've been viewing a certain thing as a burden. You've been viewing a certain situation, a certain relationship, a certain responsibility, or whatever it is. You've been viewing it as a burden, but this is you releasing that view of it being a burden and embracing it in a different way. Yeah, it's like a change in perspective. It's like no longer seeing it as something burdensome or hard or difficult, and instead, turning it around and looking at it as a challenge. A challenge that you're willing to take on, that you're ready to overcome, because once you do, it's gonna feel really good, and it's really gonna boost your your being. It's really gonna make you feel that you can accomplish things and get things done. Yeah, that's what this is. And it's going to lead you in this new direction, towards more love and fulfillment in your life. The Knave of Cups is like, it's like planting a seed. Like you see this, he's young, he's innocent, and he's got this cup, and this cup is just like, all these like wonderful, swirly, light, beautiful feeling emotions coming out of it. And but he has, he's just about to take that first sip. He hasn't really experienced the fullness of it yet, because he's just beginning to move in that direction. And how fitting that this is the last card in the reading, because we have the Fool as the first card. Is that 0 point energy. You haven't taken any first step yet, and all possibilities remain at this point. All possibilities, infinite possibilities, are in front of you at this point, and you can go in any direction that you choose. You can go in any direction that you choose, and it looks like you're choosing to go in this direction of feeling love and fullness. Yeah, and fullness and love. That's the direction that you're moving in. But it's not before you go through this process, yeah, of letting go of who you thought you were, of who you thought you were based on what conditioning that other people put on you, and also changing your perspective about the things in your life, remaining in your life, and choosing to not view things that are difficult or challenging as burdens, but instead choosing to view them as challenges that offer something to you, that offer you an opportunity to learn something about yourself, to experience some growth, and that's a far more beneficial perspective for you. And it really does allow this fullness of you to come in, this celebration of you to come in, this treasure of you to come in. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. It's a really great thing for you. All right, so again, this is Taurus Tours Tarot, and remember, this is a general reading, so take what feels good, take what resonates with you, and just leave the rest. Yeah. And if you would like a personal private reading, you can contact me at taurustourstarot@gmail.com. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. All right. And of course, make a comment too. Let me know what you think. Let me know how it resonates with you. And, comments always help me to connect with you a little bit better, and allows more of your energy to be in the next reading. Okay. So have a good one. Take care. Namaste.